Are we under attack? Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. Today I'm sharing another Prepper Pantry haul with you. I really hope that everyone is getting their emergency stockpiles built up because guys, it really looks like we are in for some trouble. A lot of folks are speculating that our food supply is under a deliberate attack. Now, I would definitely say our supply chain is being attacked from many different directions. Deliberate? I don't know. But honestly, at this point, nothing would surprise me after everything that we've been through. Now, you've probably heard the talk about the slew of fires mostly and other accidents that have been hitting some big players in our food supply chain. We had one right here in Maine, a big potato processing plant in Belfast burned down. Of course, one of the latest to occur was the fire at the Azure Standard headquarters, I believe in Oregon. They are, of course, a large independent distributor of all sorts of organic and other healthy kinds of foods. A lot of folks use them for their big bulk orders, things like oats, beans, wheat, all those kind of things. But it's been a pretty significant number of factories, processing facilities, distribution centers. There was a Walmart distribution center in Indiana that burned down. Is this part of some, big plan to bring down our whole food supply, or at least throw some major wrenches in an already limping supply chain? I don't know. What I'd like to see is not just the lists of these events that have happened this year or last year, but I would like to see the data on years pre-2020. Is this really an anomaly, or are we just more in tune to, take note of these kind of things now with everything going on? I also wonder if it could be due to maybe some laxity and safety procedures or something like that, seeing that so many businesses are understaffed and at the same time scrambling to play catch up after all the restrictions we've been through in the last 2 years. And I'm not saying that I don't believe this is orchestrated, but these are just some of the curiosities that I have. I mean, everyone loves a good conspiracy theory. So really, you just want to make sure that you're not making too much of a stretch to try to make things fit the theory that you're trying to prove. But I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this whole situation. But whatever you believe, it doesn't change the fact that any hit to our already battered supply chain is like one more nail in the coffin. And there are so many other factors at play right now. From, the situation in Eastern Europe, which is affecting a lot of things from supply chain to rising prices, some really severe lockdowns in China, which kind of seems crazy since here we are completely, it seems like back to normal, almost as if nothing ever happened. But now, once again, we have just scores of ships literally sitting in harbor, not going anywhere, which is really going to start being felt soon. I mean, there are just so many things that we're dependent on other countries for, especially China. And beyond that, we are looking at less food being produced. There are going to be literally less calories produced in the world by a drastic amount. Besides environmental factors like the mega drought that we've been experiencing, but another huge factor right now is fertilizer, which is in short supply and much higher cost to go along with that. That's part of the reason that it's so important to grow some of your own food if you're at all able. We aren't as dependent on fertilizer in our home gardens. We have other ways to amend the soil and we can rotate our crops and all that. But for large-scale commercial farmers, they're faced with either growing with less fertilizer and reaping lower yields as a result of it, or just not growing those high fertilizer dependent foods altogether. Maybe growing something else that's less dependent on fertilizer. So you can really see how this perfect storm of conditions is decreasing the food that's available to everyone. And at the same time, the prices of what is available are going up. So stock up on as much as you can right now. Think of it as an investment and an appreciating asset. The cost of food is going up, so the value of food is going up. And that's one thing that will never go down. Food will always have value. The key is to buy more than you consume until you have the supply that you feel comfortable with, and then replace what you use to maintain it. And then when there's no food available, you will have food to eat. Or when the food that is available is too expensive for you to afford, you will have food to eat. And you know what? Even if the supply is abundant and the prices are low, you will still eat the food. So you really can't lose with this one. So with that being said, let's see what we added to our Prepper Pantry this week. I found some neat stuff, some great deals, even some new Dollar Tree items that I'd never seen before that I was pretty excited to find. So let's see what we got. All right, so I've got my Thrive Life, my BJs, and then I've got my Walmart stuff. And then over here I've got Dollar Tree, I've got Amazon, I've got some random things, and this is the rest of my Walmart, mostly clearance stuff. So first I've got my Thrive Life order. Now this was my first order of the month. I've actually placed 3 orders, but I actually placed this order on April 1st and it just showed up a few days ago. I knew that they had extended shipping times. because number one, the demand has just gone up again after they got over the initial 2020 craze. Everything else going on, the demand has been crazy, and I think they also have staffing issues at the shipping company that they use. I think that they are having a hard time finding employees. But so I got a bunch of snackies bags. I just noticed I got all yellow stuff. I got corn, and I got 1 pineapple. I got 4 of the corn, 1 pineapple, and 2 bananas. Now, I know I've told you guys 1,000,001 times why I love the snackies pouches, so I won't go into the details and bore you all, but if you've never heard it before, you can just comment down below and I'll tell you why I love these snackies pouches. And then the other things that I got was a family-sized can of the ground beef, a family-sized can of the onion slices, and a family-sized can of the corn. Now, these were all 3 on sale in the April specials, and I always shop off the specials flyer. These 2 have sold out, and they still have corn left. Now, you may be wondering why I sometimes place multiple Thrive Life orders, and let me tell you why I do that, because I used to place one big order. I get a lot of coupons, 50% off of $50, so you save $25, and anybody can get these coupons. If you go to wickedprepared.thrivelife.com and register for a customer account, you have a referral link, and if you refer new sales, it's a refer a friend program. Every $500 of sales you refer, you get one of those 50% off coupons. But the even better part is you actually get 10% of the referred sales in free credit, which is even better. But so I used to place one big order and then use one of my coupons. You can only use 1 coupon per order. So what I ended up finally figuring out was that if I placed, as long as I make sure I have enough to get the free shipping at $99, if I place 2 smaller orders, I can use 2 coupons and save $50 as opposed to placing one larger order and only getting to use 1 coupon. So that's why I do that. So my next order after I ordered this, I ordered a case of the mozzarella cheese, the shredded mozzarella, because I found out that they are going to be discontinuing that. So I wanted to make sure I got a good amount of that before it was discontinued. And then, of course, I placed my order with the Big Spring Sale, which started on Tuesday. And that is still going on today and tomorrow. So it ends Monday. So they have some stuff left. It's kind of a double-edged sword because everything is while supplies last. So, people try to rush and buy things as quickly as they can, and then of course the site gets overloaded and they crash the site. And but I know I heard from plenty of people who were able to get what they wanted, and I'm super excited about that, and I was pretty happy with what I got. So I'm excited to get those orders, and you'll be seeing those in an upcoming haul. So this stuff that I got next was from BJ's, which is our wholesale club that we have here in Maine. It's just like a Sam's Club or a Costco. We don't have Costco here, but I got this bag of garbage bags. I mean, you can never have enough garbage bags, especially in a time of emergency. You're going to need to take care of waste. I try to make sure that I have at least 6 months supply of garbage bags on hand at all times. I did the pricing between Walmart and BJ's, and this was the best deal. There was a coupon. And then I got a big bottle of acetaminophen. I thought I also got ibuprofen, but I wonder if they were out of stock of that, if it went out of stock. But this has also become the cheapest place for me to buy these medications. And then I got this big box of Nature Valley granola bars, and you notice the box is open, and I've got a story to tell you about that. It's one of those times when I just didn't really know what to do or what to say. I ordered my stuff for a pickup order because I just had to get in and out, so I pulled up in the pickup spot and checked in, and the young man came out with my order. He was probably a teenager, just a young boy, and it was raining. It was like wet in the parking lot. It was raining. And I opened the side door of my van for him to put the groceries in because that's where I had room. The seat was down. And as he was putting things in, he took this box out of his cart and it came open and the granola bars spilled all over the ground in the parking lot in the rain. And I didn't really know what he was going to do, but I assumed he would, offer to go in and get me a different box of granola bars. But he just started picking them up off the wet parking lot ground and putting them into a bag in my car. And I was kind of taken aback. I just didn't know what to say. And I'm sure I could have asked him to go and get me a new box, but I just kind of didn't really know what was going on and I didn't know what to say. And I just went with it because I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not I don't freak out about stuff like that. So I just let him put it back in. I was just kind of surprised. I don't know what I expected him to do. I don't know what maybe normally would be done, but I kind of wanted to send an email after the fact, but I really didn't want to get this kid in trouble because I don't feel like he was embarrassed. He didn't know what to do. So what would you have done? Let me know down in the comments what you would have done in that situation. I know I have a lot of the blame because I could have just asked him to go get me a new box, but I really was taken aback and I just didn't know what to do or what to say. But so I did get this, and I was concerned that maybe the reason it came open, maybe it had already been opened in the store and someone had taken a granola bar out. So I did count them and they were all there. And then the other thing that I got at BJ's was the large paper plates. These are the, the fancy, heavier duty paper plates. The large and the medium that we use. We use large, medium, and small paper plates. And then we use large and small paper bowls. So we have all those things. So this is just big packs of those. And then Walmart, I did grab 2 boxes of quart-sized storage bags, 2 boxes of gallon-sized storage bags, and 2 boxes of gallon-sized freezer bags. I do try to keep a good supply of these things on hand. Probably, again, at least a 6-month supply I like to keep. And these would be handy in an emergency because you could use these to store your leftovers in if you were trying to conserve water and you didn't want to use a container that you had to wash. You can use these to seal up waste and dispose of waste if you have things like that to dispose of. So there's all kinds. You can also use these to organize items maybe within your bug out bag or your first aid kit. You can use these to organize smaller amounts of items. So then next I got just 2 of these small little Jergens lotions. These are from the trial and travel size, and I love this lotion, and I always have to have lotion on me. I have some in my car hanging right next to my steering wheel. I have lotion in my purse. I have lotion everywhere. So I always try to keep a good supply of these so that I can refill when I need to. And then I did get a container of coconut oil. Coconut oil is a pretty good oil for storing, so I wanted to grab some more of that. And then vitamin C, these are gummy vitamin C's. I try to keep a really good supply of vitamin C's on hand for immunity and all that. And we have certain family members who only like to have the gummy kind, so I have to get plenty of those. So we got 2 of these. Salt. Salt is so important. People don't always realize how much salt you're actually supposed to store per person in your family for a year. And so I'm always picking up, these, I don't think these are even 50 cents at Walmart, these small things of salt, iodized salt. So I grab one of these every so often. So I grabbed another one of these. This is another immunity item, the Zinc lozenges. These are awesome if you're getting sick to just keep one of those in your mouth and dissolve it. And we've had a couple people in the household getting over being sick, so we've used quite a few of these. So I grabbed another box. I should probably grab some more of these. I'll probably grab some more of these next time. They're pretty inexpensive and they're good to have. And then I got a few bottles of sweet and sour sauce. I got a couple different brands just to try. I know I've gotten this one before. I don't know if I've ever gotten this one before. This one actually looks better, but I thought I'd try them both. We like to keep a lot of different condiments on hand. These could make an easy meal by just putting some protein and some veggies and simmering that, and you'd have a really quick, easy meal put over rice. And then I got a box of canning and pickling salt. That's another important one to have. You want to use a canning salt whenever you're doing any kind of canning or pickling rather than using your iodized salt. And then behind that, I did get one of these Garnier Whole Blends conditioner. We had a viewer who recommended this and said she really liked it, and I thought, I'm always trying to add, more shampoos, conditioners, personal care items to our supplies, to our preps, and especially conditioner. That's the one we go through the fastest. So I just thought I'd give this a try because somebody told us that they really liked it. And then, let's see, I got 2 of these 6-packs of applesauce. This actually, we still have quite a bit of, I'm kind of replacing what the kids have been eating, but this doesn't last too long. I really should have bought more than just 2 packs, but that's what I got. And then I did get some of the mushrooms, canned mushrooms. I got 6 cans of the smaller cans because I use those more often, and then I got 2 of the larger cans just so I had both. Depending on what I was making, I might use either one, but I'm more likely to use the smaller cans. And then I did get a case of sauerkraut. Now, I am the only one in our household who eats sauerkraut. No one else eats this, but I'll just throw some pork right into the crock pot with a couple of carrots and a couple cans of sauerkraut and cook that until it's good and done, and I'll eat on that for a couple days. Nobody else eats it, but I love it. And I can go through a case of sauerkraut with no problem. So I just am finishing up a case. That's why I grabbed another case. And then, of course, more beans and rice. Now, I feel like you can never get enough rice, especially because it's such a basic staple. It's very inexpensive. I've seen a lot of people saying that rice is going up in price where they buy it. And I know that it is supposed to go up in price, and it has to do with the fertilizer again. But right now, so far, the rice is still the same price at my Walmart that it has been. And this 20-pound bag was, I think, 8 something. I did get a 5-pound bag as well. And then I got this bag of pinto beans. Now, the pinto beans are great for, obviously, cooking. But something else neat that you can do with the pinto beans, and I thought this was so cool, you can actually sprout these and grow these just right out of the grocery store bag, the ones right from the grocery store. I did this last year. I just soaked them overnight and planted them, and we grew beans. You can use them as green beans when they're still green. And then if you let them dry, ripen all the way on the vine and dry, then you're going to have the dry bean again. So to me, that's really, really a valuable thing to have, because you've got something in your pantry that you can cook and eat, but you can also grow more food from it, and you can get several different kinds of food from it. So I think that is really, really invaluable. In fact, I saved the rest of that. It was a small bag of pinto beans that I tried that with. And I saved the rest of that bag, and I just put it in the pantry. And I'm going to try again this year sprouting them and see if they'll still sprout where they're, another year old. And then I think I'll try another experiment where I buy a brand new bag and maybe seal the seeds up in some Mylar or something like that, and maybe do an experiment, seal up several packages and just open one each year and see how long they'll last when they're actually stored under really good conditions. Now, this is the Dollar Tree stuff that I got. I didn't get much from Dollar Tree. I've actually been going in there a lot less. I just really haven't had time, and I think with the price increase, I've just been staying out of there. I've been staying out of a lot of the stores, actually. I haven't been going in that much. But I did go in and get a few things. Now, I did get a couple of these small size mayonnaise. I really like to have these just for putting together little emergency meal kits, because you might want a little bit of mayonnaise for some tuna salad or pasta salad or something, but you don't want a whole jar that you're going to have open and not be able to refrigerate. So the only problem I'm having with these little mayos at the Dollar Tree is that the expiration dates have not been that far out. The last batch they had, and I didn't even buy it because it was almost already expired. These are a little bit better, but really I know that they'll stay good for quite a bit longer than the expiration date indicates. And when I do my emergency meal kits, I cycle those out every 6 months anyways. So I'm okay with this, but I wish they would get some longer expiration dates. And then this Cajun Seasoning, I bought this because I saw this in somebody's video. Who was it? It was that Lisa Dawn. I don't know if you've ever seen her channel. She's got a really awesome budget cooking kind of channel. I really enjoy watching her, and she was using some of this recently. And she said she really liked it and she would buy it again. And I honestly probably have some of this in my supply room because I buy tons of seasonings. I've bought tons of seasonings at Dollar Tree. But I wasn't sure if I already had some, and I figured I could use another one if I already did. So I grabbed one of these Cajun Seasonings. And then I found these. This is, I was excited about these because these are bouillons, but these are actually powdered bouillons. They're not cubes. Now, I really like powdered bouillons. I don't like using cubes. I think I worry about the cubes dissolving in the food. I'm worried that they won't dissolve. And so I like the powders because I don't have to worry about that. But another reason is with a cube, it's 1 cube for 1 cup of water. And with the powder, it's a teaspoon for a cup of water. So if I wanted, a cup and a half or a half a cup, I'd have to cut the cube. So this way I can just measure a different amount. So I really love powdered bouillon. So I was kind of excited. I'd never seen powdered bouillon at Dollar Tree before. So I got one of each to try. There's chicken, veggie, and beef. So I'm going to give those a try and see how they are. They're kind of, you can see the beef, it's just very white powder. So I don't know how much flavor these are going to have, but I'm going to try them and see. I'm excited about those. And then I found these, tofu. This was at the Dollar Tree. I'd never seen this before at our Dollar Tree. And the expiration is actually pretty far out on these. It's good till February of 2023, which is almost a year. And so I thought that was pretty awesome. They're shelf stable. They weren't refrigerated. And they've got, if you happen to like tofu, I grew up with this stuff because my family were vegetarian hippies when I was a child. But this is 4 servings in this little block, and it's got 6 grams of protein and 1 gram of fiber. So I thought that was something interesting to try. And then, of course, I did get 4 more of the whole milk, the shelf-stable milk boxes, because we love having these on hand. These are more short-term storage than they are long-term, so we use powders for the long-term. But these are good for quite a while, and they're actually good for a lot longer than the box states. And so we keep quite a good supply of these on hand. And we do go through them anytime that we're out of milk and I didn't have time to go to the store, we'll grab one of these and it saves us all the time. And my kids don't mind it. It's pretty good stuff. It's just milk, so just put it in the refrigerator and it's going to taste just fine. Now I've got some Amazon stuff. This right here is a lidocaine spray. This is a 5% lidocaine. I'm pretty sure that 5% is the strongest you can get without a prescription. And I really wanted something to put into my trauma kit because this is like a skin numbing solution. And I do have a skin stapler in my trauma kit and I have a few sutures. And so I just thought this would be a good thing to have, not only for that kind of thing. It could be handy for all sorts of injuries. Now this is a spray bottle, however, and here's the thing. You see that my trauma kit is a roll. You'll have to excuse it, it's a little dirty. This one lives in my car, but it's a pretty tight squeeze to get all the stuff in here. So I'm not sure if this spray bottle is going to be able to fit inside my trauma kit or not. I'm going to have to try it out. And then the next thing that we got here from Amazon are, these are for the garden and for the seedlings. We've got a ton of seedlings going right now, getting ready to do the garden. So these are just a bunch of extra plant tags that we needed. We like these. They're kind of just the right size, and we use them on the seedlings indoors, and then we just move them right into the garden when we plant the seedlings. And then this is some grease pencils that work really well on these plant markers, because we found out Sharpies don't work very well on these plant markers. Pencil doesn't work too well on these, but these grease pencils work great and they don't fade and they don't wash off. And then I've got a few books. You know how I feel about books. I love having reference books, write on paper that I don't need to run to the internet for if I didn't have the internet. But this one I did show you guys when I did my emergency meal kit, the chicken and dumplings one. I have this one, and I actually have another book that's very similar to this. I didn't have it right here, but I'll put a picture up on the screen. This one's called It's in the Bag, and it's about putting together meals like my emergency meal kits, where everything that you need for the whole meal is in the bag. And then the other one I have is called the 100-Day Pantry, and it's not about putting them in bags, but it is all meals that you can make with completely shelf-stable ingredients, just things you have in your pantry. And then I got this Merck Manual of Medical Information, Second Home Edition. These are just full of medical information. Now, I know that we have been talking about, getting our emergency antibiotics and all that, and I just want to make sure that we have plenty of medical information. If we were in an emergency and we didn't have a doctor or a hospital to go to, I want to make sure that we have all the resources we need to really try to diagnose things properly if we're going to be using antibiotics. And then this one is the Complete Guide to Pressure Canning. And I like this book. I had this recommended to me, and it has some complete meal in a jar recipes, and I love doing things like that. So that was what I wanted this for. I guess it has some pretty decent basic instructions also, but it has all these recipes in the back, and this was kind of the reason that I wanted to try it. So I also got this can. This is evaporated goat's milk. Now, I've been thinking a lot lately about goat's milk has some interesting uses. For example, I think it can be used for a lot of like orphan baby animals if you have to try to nurse a baby animal. And lately I've seen a lot of talk on a lot of my prepping pages and food shortage pages on Facebook about formula shortages. I don't have any babies right now, so I don't know anything about the formula shortages really, but apparently there's some pretty serious formula shortages. Now, if that's not enough to entice new moms to want to choose breastfeeding, I don't know what is, but I understand that that's a hot topic and that not everyone can make that work. But I have heard a lot of people talking about using goat's milk for their babies and different formula recipes to use in an emergency if you don't have access to formula. So I thought this would be a handy thing to have in the pantry for a lot of reasons like that. And this, I think they have this evaporated goat's milk, and they have powdered goat's milk. And I just feel like this would last probably longer than the powder would. At least the powder might last longer if it were sealed differently, but it's usually in a plastic jar. Now, this is something that I've been wanting for a while. I just kept, not getting around to ordering it. These are like car sick bags or air sick bags. I don't know what you want to call these. They're little vomit bags. Sorry, I know that's gross, but I wanted to have some of these mostly to keep in my car. I used to keep heavy duty Ziplocs in my car in case, a kid got car sick or somebody was sick. in the car, but I just thought that these would be handy to have. They got good reviews. I'm going to keep some in my car. I can keep some in our like little sick kit, you know, the stuff we pull out when somebody's sick. I like that they're disposable. I like that that's what they're meant for. And I've been wanting to get these, so I finally broke down and ordered them. Then, of course, we have another box of K-Cups. We've tried several different flavors of Amazon K-Cups now that Walmart raised their prices. These are boxes of 100, and they're a little over, a little under $20, depending on what flavor you get. Of course, Walmart raised their 96 pack up to $25, so we switched to these, and so I've been getting quite a few boxes, so we've got quite a few built up, and we're pretty happy with these. Now this, I know I got some of these recently, these seafood stock. This is going to become probably another one of my low-cost items that I use if I need to fill a subscribe and save, if I need a 5th item. These are only a few dollars, and I can't get a good seafood stock in the stores around here, so I have to order them. So, and I'll use quite a bit of this. So I grabbed just one of these this time. If I'm going to be using these regularly to beef up my subscribe and save, then I only need to get one at a time. And then I did get this pack. I believe this is a 9-pack of these Bisquick Complete. You just have to add water. You don't have to add milk, nothing, just water. And I have had the regular. I've never had the cheese and garlic. And these were cheaper on Amazon than the regular ones. And I have some of the regular ones. So I bought these. This is actually a really good deal on Amazon for this 9-pack of the cheese garlic. Now, if you saw my chicken and dumplings emergency meal kit in a bag, I used the regular plain Bisquick Complete biscuit mix to make the dumplings. So I think I can come up with some interesting meal ideas with the cheese garlic as well. And that's kind of the same lines why I got the Bisquick Shake and Pour. We have used this before. We use this when we go camping sometimes. But what I really started doing is I just took the concept. It's basically just it's the container with some pancake mix, and it has a water line, and you add the water, and then you just shake it and pour them right out. So when we're camping, it's pretty handy. But what I started doing is using one of my shake containers, one of my, nutrition shake containers, and I just put my own pancake mix in it, and I put the little blendy ball in it, and I shake it up, and I do that because that's not disposable. It's a little bit less expensive, but I wanted to put together some emergency meal kits that maybe were for breakfast. So I thought that would be a good idea to include, one of these and some of those emergency meal kits for breakfast. So I got a couple of those. And then this final item is a propane torch. And basically what we're using this for is to burn some of the weeds out of the garden. So that's Mr. Wicked Prepared's new toy. And then I did get these. This is another thing I got in my subscribe and save. I'm pretty sure all this Amazon stuff was my subscribe and save except for the torch. So I got these. These are some more of those bags. Now, if you saw last week, I got these bags to keep my emergency meal kits in. Now these were 8 by 10 by 4, I believe. And the bags I was looking for were 8 by 10 by 5. And I couldn't find any of those really affordable. I could find some, but they were really expensive. So this worked great for the chicken and dumplings meal, but it might be a little small for some of my other meals. So this bag is just a little bit larger. It's just a little bit larger version of the same bag. So I got that for some of my emergency meal kits, and I'm going to try them both out, and I'll probably end up using both sizes. But this is a huge pack, so I have a ton of these. I don't know if it's 50 or 100. It's a lot. And then I just got a few random items from random places. We did add another Jace case to our preps. We were definitely very happy when we got the other one. And the thing with this is that every adult can order one per year. So we had Mr. Wicked Prepared got a case for himself. So now I have one and he has one, because honestly, you can never have enough antibiotics. I feel like, if you have a lot of people who get sick or, come down with something from dirty water, or you never know if you could use these as a barter item, or, even just to help out somebody in need. I think you can never have too many antibiotics. So we did get another Jace case. Now these Ruby I got, I used to use these quite a bit. I have a lot of these, and what this is it's just like a drink packet, and it's not like a diet shake or anything like that. It's literally just fruits and vegetables, pure fruits and vegetables, nothing else. There's actually 4 servings. In this box has 4 packets. So there's 4 packets in here, and each packet has 4 servings of fruits and vegetables. So in this box, this size, there's actually 16 complete servings of fruits and vegetables. So I used to drink these, and I'm kind of trying to get back into drinking them just for my health. Like, I feel better when I have one of these every day, because I don't always have time to eat like I should. But I had a brainstorm, and what I really started to think was that these would be perfect for the prepper pantry as well. So what got me thinking about this was I was reading through like some food storage calculator things and reading that for one person for 1 year, you should be storing 320 quarts of canned vegetables. And I think something like 90 pounds of dried vegetables. That's a lot of fruits and vegetables, and that's for one person. Like, we have at least 6 people in this household. That's an insane amount of fruits and vegetables. Can you imagine the space that that takes up? So that's when it kind of occurred to me that this would be a good way to get a lot more servings of fruits and vegetables in a smaller space. And I actually also decided that this would be really great to add into our bug out bags, because you want something that's going to be light and that's not going to take up a lot of space, but hopefully going to give you a lot of nutrition, because the nutrition in these is amazing. I mean, you can see here are the ingredients. It's just fruits and vegetables. In each one, there's 4 different flavors in here. And then you can just see all of the nutrients. There's, 5 or 6 grams of fiber in most of these, and all kinds of vitamins and minerals. And so I just thought this would be a really great addition to our prepper pantry and our bug out bag. So I'm going to start trying to build up our supply of these. Oop, this is one more Amazon thing that I forgot to mention. This is insane. Do you see all this? And this is probably like half of what I got. This is, it's texturized soy protein. It's like a meat substitute. Now this came from, it's kind of a funny story. I was having a little chat with my good friend Grant from the UK, and he was lamenting the fact that he cannot get freeze-dried hamburger in the UK. And he's not the only person that I've seen lamenting that fact. So he was talking about using, I think he said freeze-dried soya. And so I was like, I wonder if that's the same as our TVP, because we have TVP, which stands for texturized vegetable protein. And so I looked it up on Amazon. I just typed in freeze-dried soya, and I found this. And this was, these are 1 pound bags, and it got some mixed reviews, but I think the thing is, like, either you like this stuff or you don't. If you're like accustomed to eating meat substitutes, like I grew up eating this kind of stuff, and my daughter doesn't like to eat meat. I mean, I eat meat now, but I have a daughter who doesn't prefer to eat meat, so she eats vegetarian. So I do buy some vegetarian items. And these will be great for making like our own, freeze-dried backpacking meals, making her some meals in a jar that she can take to the farm with her to eat. These are much bigger chunks, and that was one of the things that I read in the reviews, and it made me want to try this, because like this is the TVP that I get a lot. This is beef. You can see how small the chunks are, which is okay, but these are bigger chunks. I just think it will be something a little bit different. But it was 12 1 pound bags, and I honestly did not realize how much this was going to be. This is probably half of what I got. And it was only about $33 for this on Amazon. I was pretty impressed. I'm definitely going to have to repackage this. This is that really kind of crinkly kind of plastic that's just not going to be very good for long-term storage. So I'm definitely going to probably open these up and repackage them in Mylar with oxygen absorbers. Now, I looked it up, and I remember Thrive Life used to have TVP in the number 10 cans, and Augustin Farms still does have TVP in the number 10 cans. And so I looked, and both of those, the shelf life was 10 years. So I'm kind of assuming that if I can get these stored right up into Mylar with oxygen absorbers, it will probably be a similar shelf life, because these are bone dry and there's no fat in them. So those were the things that could cause them to spoil. So, and then we did get another one of these Seychelles radiological water filter bottles. I got one, a few weeks ago, last month, and we were pretty happy with it. Sometimes with the bigger ticket items, I mean, this was not really expensive. It's around $30 or $35, I think. But with things like that, that's, a little bit more expensive, we sometimes will buy, one at a time here and there. Same with the Jace case. Kind of spread it out over time. And so I'm going to be putting mine definitely in my bug out bag. We got another one. We'll probably try to get these in all the bug out bags and maybe in the vehicles. This is something that it filters out like radiological contamination out of the water and all kinds of other stuff. So just with everything going on in the world today, I was pretty happy to find something like this. So now the rest of my stuff is from Walmart. I do have a bunch. I was so excited to see that this cat food is starting to come back in our stores. We have not seen this in so long. Now this looks like a lot, but I picked this up over a couple of different trips to a couple of different stores. So I didn't clear the shelves, but I was really excited, and I think maybe like this was pretty much the only cat food that's been back, these big cans of the cheap stuff, which is what I prefer to buy, but I'm thinking maybe they're not as popular with everyone because not everyone has 6 cats, so maybe people don't want these bigger cans, but I've been able to find these my last few trips to the store, and I was very excited, so I got a few cases of those. Like I said, I spread it out. And then I got these I found on clearance. I use the Walmart brand of this usually. There's little stevia drops. It's like a no-calorie sweetener drop. And I looked it up when I found these, and the Walmart brand is more expensive than this $1.99. So I got the name brand. I got 3 of those. I got this. This is just like a thermal underwear that's in a size that one of my daughters can wear, because it's important to have, you know, base layers. You want to keep base layers in some of your kits and in your vehicle in the winter. And it's the best base layers are like merino wool, and then silk is a really good base layer. And this is just a cotton, but for $3, I thought this was really great to have. I mean, I can stash this somewhere in case we're ever stranded and she's cold, but at the same time, she's a kid. She could just put this on, you know, if she got her clothes dirty, like she could use the shirt just as a regular shirt or whatever. It'll be handy to have somewhere. And then I got a couple more automobile preparedness items. I know I got those, the car sick bags and things like that. This is a set of, this is a great time of year to get all those winter items that have gone on clearance because winter's over. So I got this set of traction mats for my car to keep in my car. You know, if you're stuck in the snow, you can put these under the back tires the same way you would with like a bag of kitty litter, but I'd rather keep something like this in my car than a bag of kitty litter. These were $13. I thought that was a pretty awesome deal. They were marked down from $26, it looks like. And then I also got one of these blankets that plugs into the cigarette lighter of the car. I have another one of these, but this was on clearance. This was $9. I thought that was a pretty good deal. They're handy to have. The kids like them. You know, if you're ever stuck in your car, as long as you have battery power, this could help keep you warm. And even if you weren't using the battery, it's a blanket, you know, so even if you didn't use the electric part of it, it's a nice blanket and a nice little stuff sack that you can keep in your car. Now I also picked up this Velveeta. This is the 8 ounce. So this is, oh no, it's 16 ounces. But so this is the smallest Velveeta that they really sell. Now I wanted a small Velveeta to use in some of my emergency meal kits. The 32 ounces, which is the smallest size I can get in the Great Value brand, is just too big for one meal. So, but the Velveeta is super expensive. So when I found this one in the clearance aisle, I thought I would grab it so I'd have it on hand to use in an emergency meal kit. We like to do macaroni and cheese with tomatoes, where we just boil up a pot full of macaroni and I dump in a can or 2 of diced tomatoes and put in some Velveeta and melt it, and it's really delicious. And then the last thing I have over here is this pack of potting soil. This is, we use this for starting our seeds, and we just get this right at Walmart. But one year, it was last year actually, I think, I went to get soil and they didn't have all of their soils out yet. They hadn't gotten all their soils when we wanted to start our plants. So I grabbed a different brand that said it was for seed starting. It said, and anything that we had planted in that soil did not make it. So we made sure to buy some extra bags of this, the soil that we usually use, just to have on hand, because if they haven't gotten it in yet, or if they run out and we need it, like we really like this soil and we had bad results with something else. So I got another bag of this. We have a few bags down cellar that we're using, but we always try to keep an extra bag on hand. Okay guys, that's everything that we added to our preps this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you let us know that you got some new ideas from my videos, or you learned something new, and I really love hearing that we helped someone out. Besides, sometimes it's just fun to see what other people bought. I let you guys shop vicariously through me. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a fire emoji down in the comments. If you can't leave an emoji, just say hi or let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.